Hello everyone at Enchanted Emerald, this is Melissa. Welcome to my channel, and I'm bringing you a reading today out of the traditional Rider-Waite deck for Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. And here today we have the Eight of Swords coming out with the Two of Swords in reverse and the Death card kind of rounding out the energy here. Overall, I really feel like a lot of nervous energy surrounding this. So much so that you could feel petrified. That's the word that actually came through. Maybe you're at a standstill because you're afraid to move either way, one way or another. And so ultimately, there's no decision being made, there's no action being taken. But there's a reminder here for us that you are resilient. So I feel like there's a lot of emotion surrounding this situation. And you can see here in the Two of Swords card, this person has a blindfold as well as that one. So I feel like they are, there's a lot of things that you are unable to really see clearly, have a lot of clarity about because there's so much emotion around the situation. So it's really hard to see all the facts. You've got this obscured vision, but it's a need for you to kind of hang in there, and eventually all of it will kind of come to the surface. But it's about a time for you to really be discerning, right? Maybe you've simply just been avoiding making that decision because you're not sure what's happening. Things are not as they seem. Maybe you feel inside deep down that things really aren't as they seem. And so you've just been kind of waiting things out because taking a moment to reflect on things and, seeing how the energy feels and how things start to play out can give you a good indicator of how you think you should handle things, right? So, because I feel like this is going to be an energy for you to kind of step into where you need to be a boss, right? And so like you wanted to be a boss, so be a boss. And with this, it's about embodying the energy of a boss and channeling that into the external, into your choices, into your actions, right? And, yes, we have to take charge of the situation. So it isn't always going to be an easy task. And in fact, it might challenge you quite a bit because it's not always going to look like roses, right? And so sometimes we have to really put our emotions aside and just do what's best for the company. So if you're taking this into a personal account of things that are going on in your life, not necessarily like a work situation, but being a boss, taking charge, taking control of your life, sometimes you just have to do what's best for you, right? And kind of put all of the emotion aside, because I feel like you need to do what's best for everybody, right? And I just get the sense that it's nothing personal. It's just something that it had to be done, right? Like your head and your heart are really not on the same page with this. I really feel that, unfortunately. But it's logically, you know what needs to be done, and it's your heart that's kind of holding you back, right? Because you're invested, you have emotions that are associated with this, and it's overwhelming. It becomes overwhelming. And it could be accompanied, of course, by sadness. But that's not to mistake that, it's overwhelming sadness, because I do feel like there's a little bit of optimism kind of coming in with this, and you really do have faith surrounding this situation. You have faith everything will work out as it should. So I don't feel like this is something that's gonna linger, even if you are feeling overwhelmed by it at this point in time, right? So I have a feeling, though, that the company that you're keeping, or the person that you are involved with, this person could be very cold and calculated, right? Like they have ulterior motives. It's almost as if there's a method to their madness, right? There's a reason that they're saying and doing the things that they're doing, and you just don't know yet, right? It's a way for them to feel as though they are in control of the situation. So this could lead to a little bit of an outburst from you, which isn't really characteristic of you. It's not an ordinary day for you. And so, because of all of these emotions, you could snap at somebody or say something very snarky, and you could just be caught off guard by that. And, I just feel like this like sense of this like catfish, right? On MTV, they have that show Catfish, where when you're behind a computer screen, you have no problem acting differently than normal. Now, that's not necessarily you, but people in general, right? They feel as though they can allow a character of a sort to kind of take a life of its own, even though that's not necessarily true to you or your nature. So you aren't ordinarily somebody who is afraid to be who you are, though, right? But it's a sense that this person is not being authentic with you. That's really what I'm getting. And so you expect, because you're authentic with them, that they would reciprocate that, and that's not always true. And so there is like a lyric that kind of comes in with that, where it's this Tom Jones song, and it's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Now, you think maybe if you're around my age, you probably think of that whole Fresh Prince scene, where Carlton kind of like dances all funky to that. And you think that it was a really upbeat song, and it really is, but it is about like unrequited love, right? It's love that isn't returned to you by somebody else. And so, of course you have emotions about that. Of course you're going to get upset with somebody if you all along had thought that you knew how they felt, when in fact there's no emotion involved in that with them at all. It is always about like the end goal. And so this is a time then, as you move into the energy of the Death card, because we want to replace that with a transformation, right, is coming in there, right? So what I see with that is it's like gutting a fish. Spiritually speaking, it's almost like taking all of the things within that no longer serve you and letting it go. And it's a purification of a sort. So you're like letting go of all of the negativity that's kind of associated with this. And it could be like a bit of a spiritual cleanse, right? You'll feel a lot lighter at the end of it. But you got to feel those emotions before you can get past them. So this inner world, then as you start to work on your inner world, it will start to reflect in your outer world, because then your actions change, and then your whole environment can start to change, right? You have a lot of hard truths to come to terms with. And in fact, you could tell someone like it is, or somebody could be telling you like it is, and that's where that like outburst energy kind of comes in. But ultimately, you're going to have a lot of epiphanies and realizations about what's been going on all along, right? Maybe that's where this like transparency comes in, this all the truths kind of come to the light, and that's where you're like, really, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I didn't see that, right? Like you have had a lot on your mind, and perhaps as you're looking back on things now, you could be kind of analyzing them over and over again, and seeing different points in time when this person may not have been as truthful to you as you thought that they were being, very authentic in the moment. But having come to some of these realizations, it's almost like you feel sad about things that have happened in the past, because it's kind of humiliating, I guess is the right word. And so no matter which way you look at this situation, I really feel like somebody's going to come out a loser, right? Like this is highly charged energy, and this person could be highly reactive to like their external circumstances. And so this is a time for you to kind of take a step back and understand what it is that you're deserving of, right? Like you deserve authentic relationships, authentic people in your life. And therefore, that is a way that you respect yourself. You want to surround yourself with people that are also as invested emotionally as you. And so if you are respecting yourself, you can only demand that from other people, right? You teach people how to treat you. And so, you are seeing right through this person. I really feel like it's come to the point where you just feel like you see right through them. And it's almost as if you're I don't want to say casting judgment, because I don't think that that's necessarily true, but maybe just coming to like a realization, understanding. And I hear this lyric for that Lauryn Hill song, like, how you gonna win when you ain't right within, right? Like, they also have to come through some lessons in life to where they can get to a place where they can start to purge some of that inside, like heal the trauma, purge the negativity, that kind of thing, where they're letting go of people, places, and things that do not serve them, and they're coming to terms with who they are and accepting themselves, right? They have to go through all of this, right? All of these lessons that you've probably already been through, in order to get into a space where they can win because they're right within, right? Like, so I feel like a time right now it might be a really good time to be spending some time around water. It could be very beneficial for you. Just think about how we all need to drink water to survive, to nourish our physical vessels. We also need to quench our soul spiritually. And so it could be a time to sit near water and in quiet reflection, allow the beauty around you to be reflected back at you. And so it's symbolic of, something very connected to spirit, right? It's symbolic of something greater than ourselves, and it will help us to connect with our higher selves, our intuition, a little bit more easily. You'll easily be able to shift into that meditative type state to come to grips with this divine plan. It becomes clear to you, very apparent to you, that it was all a part of what was supposed to happen, so that you come to the acceptance of that, right? And you realize that there is this like higher calling for you as you transform. So you allow this situation to transform you, and you see it for what it is, but you understand that it's no longer about what was, and it's no longer about what is to be or what will be. But you just accept it for what it is, and understand that it has shaped you and formed you into the person that you are today, so we can send it gratitude, knowing that there's better things coming in for us on the other side of that. So a wonderful read here for us today. I do so hope that this resonates for you. As always, if it does, please don't hesitate to hit that like button. Let me know in the comments below how this resonates in your life. And as always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.